you're talking pre-match, obviously, about how things were not holding up for you physically. How were you in this match? Obviously, we could see the huge amount of tape you had on your torso, but how just were you feeling?
Yeah, it's not good. I've been pretty, like, I guess, transparent about the knee stuff, like, the entire week. I was, like, so happy with how I was feeling throughout, like, the first 2 rounds, and then I came in after the match with Stan and was like, yeah, wasn't feeling great against Stan, especially towards the end of the match. And then today it was just, I was feeling it from the get-go. Like, I felt good in my warm-up this morning, and then when I went to just do my pre-match stuff, like moving around and stuff before the match, I told my physio, I was like, my knee just doesn't feel great, and I was hoping it would loosen up, and it didn't get worse. I don't really think it got worse, but it kind of just stayed the same the entire match. It was just like pretty much everything was bothering it.
You said before the tournament, well, in the previous rounds, that you might talk about the other stuff you were feeling.
Yeah, it was my oblique.
Yeah.
That was all the tape. We tried taping it today because I felt like in the first round it wasn't that big of an issue. In the second round, maybe a little bit more, and then in the match with Stan, my oblique was actually killing me when I was trying to return. Like, he'd kick his second serve in my backhand. I was just I could not hit it without, I could only push it if I tried to turn on it. It was killing me. So tried to tape it, and yeah, before the tournament I did an ultrasound. After the second round I did an ultrasound, and then yesterday I did an MRI on it. It's it's the same exact same thing that I had last year. That took me out for the beginning of clay court season and a bit during the hardcourt season I tried to play through. So all the scans show that it's not, there's not an obvious tear there like there was before, but I'm being cautious because it's all the same symptoms that, same shots hurt me. It's exactly the same as last year, and I kind of made a mess of this thing last year, trying to play through it a bit too much. So we're monitoring it, but I don't think it's as bad as it was last year. So I think I can recover from it fairly quickly if I just take some time off.
What's it like?
I know hindsight is 20/20, but did you do a different sort of off season this year, taking into account how you had to fight your injury last year? I mean, obviously Carlos and Jannik are at a different level than pretty much everyone else, but they come in here, they don't start with the United Cup. Is it a situation where maybe you should just take more time off? I know you play a lot.
It's tough. I would hate to for me, I would hate to just go into Australian Open with 0 matches. That's just me. And I also like to train the week before, so I think just showing up a week later and playing the 250 the week before is not the best answer either. So I think it's always worked well for me, and I've felt very good coming in the last couple of years having played United Cup. So I don't know. I just think, when I just think at how off, kind of rusty I felt in my first match of the year at United Cup, I would hate to show up to a slam and potentially do that. I think for me it's too big of a risk. But maybe for those guys, they feel very confident that they're not going to go out and they're going to be able to play themselves into the tournament.
In the off season itself, more downtime potentially, and a little less training.
I mean, no, there wasn't enough training in the off season, but I there's nothing I can do. I'm rehabbing a knee injury. It's even if today, let's put it this way, even if today the knee didn't get me, it would have been very hard for me to play that a long 5-setter in the heat today. I'm just, and it's not it's not a situation of I'm being too lazy, I need to work harder. I just physically have not been able to, and that was the issue. I spent the off season just full rehabbing and doing my gym work, and I just didn't get enough enough time on the court, and there's nothing else I can really do. That's all I could do.
How much do you have to rest, I guess, coming forward? 'Cause, I mean, I know you love so much of this calendar, Dallas, Indy Wells, Miami, something, but it seems like, I know you're talking earlier about playing through it, but it seems like you sort of have to, on some level, be considering forcing yourself to get off the treadmill at some point.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just see how the oblique stuff reacts, because I think it felt pretty good. It felt pretty good today, but at the same time, he wasn't really like kicking to my back. Like he wasn't really making me play like the shots that sometimes like bother it. So I don't know how good it really is, but I'm gonna see how that reacts. I'm hoping I can play Dallas. I don't know why my knee got so much worse. Kind of in the last like 3 days, to where, because it was like I said, it was feeling really good through my first 2 rounds, and all the practices before that. So I don't know if it's just the overload of playing, like physical 3-4 sets, stuff like that. But I have some more time to heal it. I feel like I keep up with the rehab. It's going to keep getting better. I'm not going to have to play more than 3 sets any match in Dallas. So kind of just figure it out. And if my knee feels like it's not getting better, if my oblique feels like it's not getting better, like I'll give myself the time.
Hey Taylor, with what you said about your condition in mind, did you consider retiring from the match today, and what went into your decision not to?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, before the match, it didn't cross my mind at all, because, like I said, I felt pretty good at my warm-up. I felt very good at my warm-up, and I thought, part of me hoped it would maybe, like, just, like, loosen up. I took those, they gave me, like, I'm already on anti-inflammatories, but then they gave me other painkillers. I thought maybe that would, like, kick in. It didn't do anything. But I felt like I was, like, striking the ball well. Like, I think a lot of my mistakes just came from, like, me pulling up, like, feeling like I'm, like, loading my, like, knee hard enough. And, I really don't also want to take any credit away. He was playing really well, serving really well, like, neutralizing a lot of my off, like, when I was attacking extremely well. He played great. And I don't know. I thought in the second set I could get something going, to be honest. I felt like I had some opportunities that I maybe could have broken, and then maybe I, like, get some holds and take the second set. And, I think my biggest problem today was just, like, sometimes when I'm playing through an injury, most of the time when I'm playing through an injury, I can just go on the court and just not think about it and just, like, play and get into the match. And I just, like, could not today. I just, like, couldn't stop thinking about it. It was really hard for me to get in there, but I don't know. I'm not the kind of person that pulls out, and especially in the second set, I was just really hoping I could, like, get something going.
I just wondered if you can remember, like, the last time you felt you had a sustained period without a kind of niggle or an injury sort of in the back of your mind. And
Well, I've had the knee tendonitis since I've been feeling it on court since, like, last grass court season. But
most recent.
yeah, but I do feel like when I was playing during US Open, Laver Cup, and Tokyo, I feel like I wasn't even thinking about it when I was playing on the court. I'd say that was probably that was the last stretch of, like, 3 tournaments where I think I was going on the court and playing, and there was, like, nothing was in my mind about, like, an injury while I was playing.
Can you see, therefore, a time in not the too distant future when you will get to that feeling again, or does it feel quite hard to imagine?
No, that's the goal. It's tough because, like, things just pop up now, like, all the time, but my knee still is improving. I don't think it's, like I said, impressed after my first and second round. Like it's going to be a process. It was feeling better. I still am not 100% sure why I kind of went backwards the last like 3 or 4 days after 2 weeks of it just 3 weeks of it just consistently getting better. But you know, I've talked to a lot of people that have had this, and they say, you know, I'll make a full recovery at some point, and then I've recovered from the oblique thing before. It's not too serious, so my main focus is to just get 100% healthy, which I know I'm hoping it's not too far away, and just to be on top of everything so I can train and like really like just practice and train like I am used to.
Last one.
Taylor, we've seen a couple of players recently, Jack Draper, Artifice, have taken basically 6-7 months off because they've just not been able to play, and they're trying to get to the point that you all want to be in, of not feeling pain. With the medical advice you've had, would there be any sense or possibility in the future that you might just say, do you know what, I'm just not going to play until this is sorted out?
Yeah, I mean, I think that going into the year, that was kind of how I was thinking, and that's kind of how I was talking with my team, because, you know, I guess what I have with my knee, it's not anything like, it's not like it's something no one's dealt with before. It's very, the protocol to fix it, the time, you know, there's very obvious like standards for it, and how it was feeling when I first got to Australia, I was telling my team, and I was saying, like, look, if it stays how it is, we are just going to have to stop, because I don't think it's getting any better. I don't think I can't play through this, like, you know. And so I was fully ready to shut it down for a couple months to get it better. But, you know, my physio, who's great, and I trust him, and he said that, you know, he thinks there's a pretty solid chance that we can do all the rehab protocol and do everything we need to do while I'm still playing, and I can rest when I have rests in between the tournaments, maybe not play as many tournaments. And he thinks that it's plausible to get it better while playing. So we said let's try that and see how it goes. And, you know, like I said, up until 3 days ago, I thought it was going pretty well. So I think that's still the plan moving forward.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.